Serpent King has remedy. Together we will devour the very core.
Hello guys, it's been a while. For today's video I wanted to do a special little guide for a special commenter that asked me for a showcase for the controller setup that I have for Yoshimitsu. Now, I'm gonna go about showcasing the gamepad setup that I have, and then I'm gonna showcase if you're somebody who's using a keyboard instead and what I did before I got my gamepad back. So let's get to it. So from the gamepad section, I only have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons the way they were defaulted as, right? As you see, the punch, square, right punch, triangle, left kick, X, right kick, circle, right? Or in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the 1+2 I have on the L1 button on the controller. For the 3+4 button, I have it on the R1 section. For the flash button that I like to use, or what Yoshimitsu tend to use, it's the 1+4. I have it on the L2 button, and the heat burst, I have it on 2+3 for R2. Now, if you see this one right here specifically, this one I have on my R3. This one has to do with a particular move that Yoshimitsu has that isn't really all that important in the beginner section. Like if you're somebody who is very beginner playing Yoshimitsu, I wouldn't recommend keybinding this or macroing this. I don't think macroing is the right word for your controller. It's just a move that you will probably want to use here and there when you want to, but it's something that Yoshimitsu can do in the game, and it's his 1+2+3, right? So what the move looks like is basically this. That's the move. That's really all it is. If you want to have that move, keybind it to whatever button that you want to, but I have it on my R3, which is the right analog stick. For the last one is essentially just for key charging. So the 1+2+3+4 is just a key charge. So I have it on my left analog stick, or the L3 button, so that whenever I'm training, I can just go ahead and just use key charge so I can get a counter hit property move to then attack with to showcase any combos, or if I'm training, all that stuff, right? Now, if you're somebody who plays on a keyboard, I changed the keyboard keybinds on my keyboard. I'm going to put an image on screen that shows the keyboard, and I'm going to be labeling the parts of the keyboard that how I used to use Yoshimitsu's moves, so that way if you're somebody who's struggling to do, like, let's say 1+4 for the flash, or if you want to go for this move, you can also try to keybind that to your keyboard. Now, what is your 1 button, what is your 2 button, what is your 3 button, what is your 4 button, and so forth, right? Alright, for movement, you already know that the keybinds are WASD. I didn't really change it for the keyboard when I used to play on the keyboard. But when it came to the 1, 2, 3, 4 attack buttons, I switched them for ease of use. So where I placed them was in these sections. The 1 was in this section, the 2 next to it, the 3, and the 4. Now, for the flash, or the 1+4, I keybinded to Q. So whenever I wanted to go and flash somebody, I just use Q instead. For the special windmill attack that I just showcased, the 1+2+3, I have it on Z. Whenever when I wanted to use it, I could just use Z and use that move. If I wanted a key charge, for whatever reason when I'm training, I have it on X. For any other types of buttons, I can say maybe E was for 1+2, and for 3+4, I had it on R. And for your 2+3 move, which is your heat burst, I had it on F. So that's essentially what I had on for the keyboard. I didn't have anything else. In fact, there were moments where I didn't really use the E or R buttons for the 1+2 or 3+4 because I found that it was easier to just simply click both buttons to go for the 3-4 buttons that I had keybinded on the keyboard to go for, let's say, meditation stance on Yoshimitsu, which is 3+4. Or if I wanted to go into Kensho stance, which is 1+2, I just pressed those 2 buttons and got the Kensho stance, essentially. Also, I may make a small little guide for those that are having trouble doing Korean backdashing in the future. I will probably add that for the sake of you guys that are having trouble doing it. There are tricks to doing it on the keyboard. That's super easy to do. Easier, I would say, than using it in the gamepad, but I'll leave that for some other time, right? I'll do that for you guys, so that way you guys would have an ease of getting better at movement, because movement in this game is important. It's not as important as it is in Tekken 7, but it's still important. So guys, if you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my shit, and stay tuned.